Men are usually known to be the heavier drinkers when compared to women, but not necessarily anymore. According to a new study, women are catching up. A report published by the BMJ Open analyzed 4 million people born between 1891 and 2001, found that historically men were twice as likely to drink as women, more than 3 times as likely to develop alcohol-related problems. But why are times changing? Well, women have closed that gap in recent generations. Now, if you look at men born since the 1980s, they're only 1.1 times more likely to drink than their female counterparts, only 1.3 times more likely to abuse alcohol. Shocking increase in terms of women drinking alcohol.
I want to put this in percentages. I think that this makes more of an impact that you can understand. So back in the early 1900s, men were 200% more likely to drink and 300% more likely to have an alcohol-associated problem than women. Now, they're 10% more likely to drink and 30% more likely to have a problem. Mathematician, did I do that right?
You sure did.
So
it's
astounding.
pretty much to the point where you could argue that men and women are almost equally abusing alcohol. Why and how do you think this happened?
I suggest that back then, 100 years ago, women were nipping it in the back room, and
well, and that's
they were
always
sneaky
dubious.
drinkers.
That's 1891 data.
See, this is one of the things that's changed, that it's more open, that it's being documented, and
it's
that's
accepted. Maybe back
it is
then.
accepted.
In 1900s, are you going to sit there as a woman and say, "Oh yeah, I drink"? Maybe you don't.
No, you didn't.
So behind closed doors, I don't know.
Deal. The gender role has changed so much. Women are out there working. They're just as stressed as men. They socialize, they network, they do all those things.
Well, we were talking about how alcohol is so associated with social events. You talk about anyone, whenever they get together, whether it's getting together to watch a sporting event or getting together for dinner or getting together for drinks after work, it's all of it revolves around alcohol.
It's so funny because as a doctor, one of the questions you always ask on the questionnaires is how often do you drink? And then people will write socially, and I'm like, oh, so every day? Like,
I think it is important to distinguish here that with alcohol, it is such a dose-response element to it. Meaning, if you're abusing alcohol, there are so many problematic things that can happen linked to heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, obviously liver disease. You've often talked about the Breast Cancer Association with consumption of alcohol. So to me, the biggest red flag in this study wasn't that women have caught up to men in terms of the number of women that do imbibe. It's the number of women abusing alcohol now. If this data is correct, the percentage is astronomically higher than before. And women in particular don't metabolize alcohol as efficiently as men.
They hang on to it longer, and it can lead to infertility, menstrual cycle irregularity, and a lot of different cancers. So part of the solution here is for people to recognize an abuse situation and then seek treatment help.
In moderation.
A drink a day for women is heart healthy and not adverse. 2 drinks a day for men. That is the American Cancer Society bottom line recommendation when it comes to alcohol. More than that, you need to look at why you're drinking that much. Does it affect your relationships? Does it make you late to work every day? Are you not as quick on your feet? What is happening when you drink, and does that need to change?
And one of the biggest ones that I always tell people, part of the Cage questionnaire way back in the day, is do you feel guilty about your drinking? Because to me, you can throw all these numbers out there and people 1, 2 drinks, but if you're feeling guilty about your drinking, there is a good chance that you're a problem drinker. And especially nowadays, because it's so socially acceptable, because women apparently are drinking nearly the same rates as men, I think that there has to be that element of, you know, wait a minute, feel a little bit guilty about how much.
My wife's the one that has a glass of wine every night. I don't drink during the week because either TV or surgery or whatever, but she pours her a glass of white wine.
Drew, we probably have alcoholic beverages on this stage once a week.
Yes, we do. Let's see. That's why I don't drink at home. I know I'm going to have a pop here on the set.
Obviously, alcohol in moderation is really the key here. We'll have more resources on our website. Don't go away.